So I'm going to be talking about music today. So it's undeniable that movies make you feel. Have you ever wondered why that one specific scene moved you to tears or why that scene put so much fear into you? Well, have you ever considered how the music plays into that? If you listen very carefully in almost every movie scene that has made you feel a specific way, I can almost guarantee there was some music playing in the background. Music is a very powerful tool that composers and filmmakers will use to amplify emotions that you feel in a current situation. Ooh, sorry. But how exactly does that work? Well, composers like to use many things to do this, but one specific way they do this is through the use of leitmotifs. Leitmotifs refers to a musical idea or a series of notes that refers to a character or a theme. So some very notable leitmotifs include things like Star Wars, Jaws, or Harry Potter. And let's analyze the Star Wars theme a bit more. I think everyone in this room who's heard the Star Wars theme, I hope, has an unconscious association between the Star Wars theme and triumph, this idea that the good guys win. And that's mostly because the Star Wars theme plays when the good guys win. So you naturally have this association of triumph and victory and all the emotions tied to it whenever you hear that theme. And that's because the composers have been training you, in a sense, throughout all the movies to feel that way about one specific theme. And composers will do this all the time in many ways across different films, so that you unconsciously associate specific things across different things. So one favorite example of mine is from a specific film called The Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. And to give a bit of context for those who haven't seen this movie, it's the scene towards the end of the third film where the protagonist Frodo has almost nearly made it to the final destination, and he's so close, but he collapses. So his sidekick steps up and picks him up and brings him along the way. So I want you to pay attention to the music that's playing in the background.
I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you. Come on!
Man, that is such a cool scene. But beyond that, I think if you listen to the music, it's very emotional. And if you've paid attention and watched the movies, it's also the theme, the leitmotif for the end of a journey. And I think it's very appropriate that the composer includes this in this section because it is the end of a journey. It's at the end of a trilogy. They've almost made it to their final stop. So that theme coming in full force with that horn line really helps amplify the emotions you feel towards Sam. I don't know about you guys, but I really felt that Sam was, carrying through. I felt very proud of him in a sense. And it's this awesome feeling you get. If you watch the scene without music, it has an almost empty feeling. It loses all of that meaning because the music really does amplify the music in that way. Now, moving on to a theme that everybody should know is a theme called the Dies Irae. Now, you may be wondering, well, what the hell is a Dies Irae? Well, I can guarantee that every single person in this room who watches movies has heard this theme somewhere before. And to give a bit of context for the Dies Irae, it refers to a Gregorian chant that was invented around 1,500 years ago, and it's that four-note motif you see on the screen. And it refers to the Day of Wrath. And it was a song all about death, destruction, and how we're all going to die someday. And that idea translated into the classical era. So we have composers like Bach, Beethoven, and Berlioz who use them in their songs for death, requiems. And that four-note motif became so iconic and tied to death that if you fast forward to today, Hollywood has been using it to tie it with death. So the four-note theme goes like this. Now, I hope that you immediately have some associations with this idea. So now I'm going to show you some movie clips that include a very similar motif that was inspired by the Dies Irae, and I want you to pay attention to the music that's playing in the background.
Kill him.
So it's a very clever trick that composers have been using to use a specific theme that is tied to a specific idea, so you have unconscious associations. I'm pretty sure none of you have noticed, if you've watched these movies, this theme playing in the background consistently. And I can guarantee you that almost any movie with death involved in it has the Dies Irae in it somewhere. So it builds on this unconscious association you have with the theme and death. So whenever you hear the theme, you automatically think, oh, something's going to go wrong, someone is going to die. And that's exactly what composers want. They want you to feel something before you even know or realize it. And that's exactly how they manipulate your emotions. Now, the Dies Irae is a very specific example, and composers will utilize leitmotifs that they built within the movie to often build on emotions. I think the Dies Irae is different because it's something that has been developed over centuries and millennia, and that's something composers don't have time to do in one movie. So what I want you to take out of this is to pay more attention to the music that's playing in movies. I want you to notice how music isn't necessarily the only tool for emotion in a movie. Of course, the scene is very important, the acting is very important, but I want you to pay closer attention to the music that's playing, because music really does amplify the emotion. I think everyone undervalues how much of a role music plays in movies, because all of these emotions you feel are generally because of the music. And what I want you to take out of this is to further appreciate music, because composers really do put a lot of time into the music they create for movies, and it really has a massive effect on how we feel. So next time you go out and watch a movie, pay attention to the music and try and listen out for things you may notice. There's a lot of patterns and instrumentation that composers will use, and even if you don't take music, I don't think it's that hard to notice. So I hope this has improved your musical understanding and appreciation for music. Thank you.